weekly brief for April 15th to April 20th. So let's get right into this. Monday, April 15th, we have deadlifts. It's going to be build to a 1 rep max, and then however many sets that takes, 10 sets, 8 sets, 5 sets, whatever. Build to your 1 rep max. Once you find your 1 rep max, drop 25% of that weight and do 2 sets of max reps with 2 minutes rest in between. So same progression that we've been on, it's just the percentages are different and the overall load's different. So 1 rep max, dropping 25%, 2 max rep sets. Pairing each set, so every set of deadlifts is paired with 3 alternating lunges per leg, 3 alternating lunge jumps per leg. So with the lunge jumps, I want these to be as explosive and powerful as possible. So you're jumping as high vertically as you can with each jump. 3 per leg. So 3 with right leg forward, 3 with the left leg forward. String them all together, but get as high as you possibly can. We have some lower body hypertrophy work per the usual in this cycle. And then this is the peak, the pinnacle of our short duration interval progression for this cycle. After this week, so moving into April 22nd week, what's going to change is the rest. There's going to be less rest in between, but the work duration is going to be lower. So this is, like I said, this is the peak of it. We're going to go 10-minute AMRAP, rest 5 minutes, 10-minute AMRAP. So it's 20 total minutes of work, but with that 5-minute rest in between. Go at an intensity you can maintain for the full 20 minutes of work. So don't start the first 10 minutes so hot that you can't maintain or even start the next cycle at the same intensity. Start off nice and easy, and by the end you should be redlining. Okay, so that's the perfect intensity. The movements for this one, for the first 10 minutes, 400-meter run or sub a 500-meter row, 20 kettlebell swings. If you do not have a kettlebell, you do hang clean high pulls. You still get this full triple extension type of movement. And then 10 pull-ups. Depending on how you want to run it, if pull-ups are going to be a major limiting factor, making it not it's going to basically create a lot of rest because you're having to take rest in between pull-ups, then use a band to assist, or you can jump up to the bar and do slow eccentric pull-ups. If you want pull-ups to be the limiting factor, the thing that you're training the most, then sure, go ahead and do it with do pull-up standard and make that the limiting factor. It's just going to kind of take away from my intent of the conditioning. Ideally, you can do those 10 pull-ups unbroken, so you just keep the trainer rolling. 5 minutes rest. Then the second 10-minute AMRAP is going to be 400-meter run or 500-meter row, 20 air squats, so we're taking the load out of it, and then 10 inverted rows. We're reducing the load on a pulling movement, going from pull-ups to inverted rows for that second 10 minutes. So that is your short duration intervals for Monday. And then suitcase carry, up to 40 seconds per side. Rest as needed in between, usually 1 to 3 minutes. Pretty straightforward. 40-second suitcase carry per side. Tuesday, we have the barbell push press, building to our 1 rep max for that. Again, however many sets it takes. And then 2 sets of max reps with a 25% reduction in that 1 rep max. So it's 75% of your 1 rep max for 2 sets of max reps, 2 minutes in between. Pairing those with ball slams. If you don't have a ball to slam, you can connect a band to something up on a pull-up bar or something very sturdy and do the same movement with resistance that way with a band. A couple upper body hypertrophy movements at sets of 8. And then our short duration for this one, it's a double, or it's a couplet, 5 rounds for time, 5 hang clean high pulls. If you can do power cleans or hang power cleans, feel free. We're just not going to put in our programming as the expectation that's what you do. Our expectation is that you can at least do a hang clean high pull. Let's do those. If you can do the clean, if you're very comfortable with the clean, or if it's something that you want to spend time on, then do a hang clean, a hang power clean, or a squat clean, or a full power clean. And then we have 10 lateral burpees over the bar. So those lateral burpees over the bar are going to be spicy. So there's a jumping requirement, there's some movement, you have some accuracy in your movement too. You're not just letting it fly with a standard burpee. And then so you're going kind of smoked into, this is Bella, everybody. Hi, Bella. So you're going to be kind of smoked going back into your hang clean high pulls, and the weight's pretty spicy, 135 or 95 pounds. It's 5 rounds for time. Grind through it. grind through it, or you can always scale the weight as needed if you want to reduce the weight, or if you're particularly strong in this type of movement, then increase the weight. Make it work for you. And then our strict body weight pull-up progression, 7-minute AMRAP, 5 pull-ups every minute on the minute. If you cannot stick with that EMOM, per the usual, you're going to do all the same number of reps of pull-ups. You're just going to do it on your own time. Do 35 reps, basically as fast as possible with as little rest as possible. All right, Tuesday's done. Wednesday, April 17th, we have our EFT training, kind of a drill, an active recovery drill, and then also a non-combatives based active recovery. Okay, Thursday, we have paused back squats, so a 3-second pause at the bottom. Make it an honest 3 seconds. Squat, get down as low as you can in your squat, hold. Don't just don't just hang out in a catcher's position, if that makes sense, where you're just kind of dumped out in the bottom. Go down to a position of control, hold it, pause, 3 full seconds. If you're working out with a partner or a buddy, have them count 1, 2, 3. Make it an honest 3 seconds and explode up from there. Don't go down and pause and then bounce out of the hole. Pause, hold 3 seconds, explode up. Okay? We're going to do a build to a 3-rep max on that, however many sets that takes. And then we're at quad father complex. Like last week, thick thighs save lives was doubled up. Now the quad father complex is doubled up this time. 2 rounds of 3 front rack forward lunges, so really hitting the quads with those. And then 6 front squats, doubled up on quads. That's why I call it quad father complex. Modify those front squats as needed. 2 rounds without dropping the bar. So you go through that twice. 3 front rack forward lunges per leg, 6 front squats, 3 front rack forward lunges per leg, 6 back squats, or 6 front squats, rack the weight. Yeah, and you're doing that as many times as you need to build to a max weight. Conditioning, we're back to our monostructural. Last week was our multimodal work, so this week we're back to our monostructural. Probably the least favorite of people in general to do, unless you're an endurance athlete, just because it's less fun. There's not throwing weight around and all that, but it's important to do, all right? In law enforcement, you got to be able to run, you got to be able to get to a problem, right? In order to solve it, you got to get to it, and on occasion that requires running, God forbid. And this is going to be 4 rounds, 2 minutes of work, 2 minutes of rest. I write this in a way so that if you've been on the road for 20 years and you're doing this program, or you started late, whatever, you got bad knee, you got bad whatever, you can do whatever modality you want. You can run, row, bike erg, echo bike, salt bike, Jacob's ladder, do the elliptical if that's what you're into. But do 4 rounds, 2 minutes of work, 2 minutes of rest, as intense as possible to maintain for all 4 rounds. So whatever intensity is your max, but can be maintained for 4 rounds of 2 minutes of work, then do that. That's our Thursday. Hi, Bella. Okay. Friday, Flex Friday, we're up to back to sets of 12. They are the same exercises as weeks 2 and 4. It's the same rep scheme as week 2. So let's see here. That's going to be the same as March 22nd. So if you did March 22nd's Flex Friday, go back to your log from that day, see what weights you did, and increase those weights this time around, ideally. All right, let's see where we're at here. Flex Friday, and then Tactical Saturday, April 20th. Agility work per the usual, tactical agility drill. In our 100-meter sprints, we did 4 last week. We're going to do 6 this week. Rest 2 minutes in between sprints. The rest can be less than 2 minutes, could be more than 2 minutes. We basically just want to be able to, we set a time to make it efficient, but if you feel good after a minute where you feel like you can do another max effort 100-meter sprint and it's only been a minute of rest, that's fine. There's no magic in 2 minutes. We just want you to have enough time to be recovered to do another maximum effort. This isn't supposed to be long, even short duration conditioning. This is a sprint, a 100% effort sprint for 100 meters. And we want you to be recovered enough to be able to sprint again, not go from a sprint to like a hard run to by the end you're jogging, right? Because you're not recovering in between rounds. And then the conditioning, tactical Saturday conditioning, it's an AMRAP for 30 minutes, which is spicy. 5 deadlifts at 225 pounds or 155 pounds. Of course, scale this for you. If you are a deadlift monster, you got arms down to your knees and you can deadlift a house, then increase the weight. If you're not that person and you're maybe new to deadlifts, or maybe you feel you are sensitive to deadlifts, then make it lighter. There's no magic in the numbers. We're trying to give you weights that will accommodate the most amount of people. We want it to be on the heavier side, but what heavy is different for you, is different for me, is different for the next person. So make it heavy but doable. Again, it's a 30-minute AMRAP, so it's a lot of volume. 5 deadlifts, 10 box jumps, 24 or 20 inches, 15 push-ups, 20-second plank. If you don't have a box, just do jump squats. Like I've mentioned before, there's nothing special about the box. We just want you jumping. We want you working that vertical. So 10 box jumps after the deadlifts, 15 push-ups, 20-second plank. Get yourself under control during that plank. So you're still working. It's only 20 seconds. You're still working, but work on getting your breath back together, get your mind right, go back into those deadlifts after the plank. For our tactical skill integration, it's going to be a memory recall. So look up a random picture, person, place, thing, study and memorize the physical description of it with as much detail as you possibly can. Give yourself 5-10 minutes before the workout to memorize this. And then at the end, without looking at your picture or whatever it is that you were looking at out in the street or whatever, recall as much detail as you possibly can. Just the mere act of attempting this recall will help boost that memory recall ability. And that's your training. That's your training for week 15. We're progressing along. Like I said, we're kind of getting to a peak. Some things are going to continue to peak. Some things are going to back off in certain ways. Moving forward for the rest of this cycle. Enjoy the week of training. It's going to be a good one. Take care.